Preview. Preview.
Namaskar. I'm Kumarakesh and you're watching Global Governance News TV. Today is a Good Governance Day in Bharat. On the eve of the birthday of our Bharat Ratna Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Madan Mohan Malviya, who is founder of the Banaras Hindu University. Everybody knows. And Merry Christmas to all who celebrate, and just to our friends and the family who just celebrate Merry Christmas. Happy Merry Christmas to all of you. And on this very day, just we're going to discuss the good governance in New Bharat. So we are going to talk about governance. Good Governance Day, just Government of India celebrated, and as we know it, and obvious governance of 2014 and after and before. So, aiming at creating awareness about the accountability in government among the citizens of the country. Every year, just the government of India decided the birth anniversary of former Prime Minister of Bharat, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, December 25th, today's birthday also, observed as a Good Governance Day. It was first celebrated in 2015 when Vajpayee, along with Pandit Mohan Malviya, were conferred with the highest civilian award of the Bharat, Bharat Ratna, posthumously. Following the award ceremony, the government of India marked the day to observe the Good Governance Day. Vajpayee is considered the embodiment of the good governance, who once said that Bharat, India is not a piece of land but a living entity. He always emphasized that India needed good governance which worked by the rules of democracy rather than the strong government. Showcasing his sheer ability to govern, Vajpayee is also credited for the making India for a nuclear power and uh, uh, nuclear power and uh, and just a credit for the when back in 1998 when Bharat conducted the three nuclear tests in Pokhran, when it showed its relation with America also, thus the day is celebrated, remind the government that it must be transparent, unbiased, and oriented towards development. So, according to the United Nations, there are eight characteristics which indicate the good governance of the country. Good governance should be the participatory, accountable, responsible, responsive, efficient, inclusive, equitable, consensus-oriented, and must follow the rule of law. And good governance also expertise to minimize corruption. But I think the not minimize corruption. Corruption should be the wipe out and take the voices of the vulnerable communities and minorities into account. So, stepping to the efforts of the spread awareness about the good governance, the Bharat Sarkar, we can say, that is a two words written in India, that is Bharat, that's I'm using the Bharat. The Indian government has decided to celebrate this whole week this year from December 20 to 25. The theme of year is the Prasasan Gaon Ki Or. And this day will observe part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So, going to discuss, we have esteemed panelist, Dr. Ram Bhatt, and is a academician from the Germany, and Madam Bandana Jinganji, a senior journalist and social activist from the Chicago. So start from the today, Ram Bhattji. After a long time, we are just seeing him. So how just to analyze the good governance and new Bharat and the changing scenario?
Ji, many thanks, Rakesh ji, and greetings to all. A wonderful topic, and of course, it needs, I think, a very detailed attention when we talk about good governance and new India, new Bharat. Usually in academia, as far as I understand, there are at least almost eight characteristics of good governance. The first is the participatory. I think this is, of course, about the elections, consensus oriented accountability, transparency, responsive government, and effective and efficient government, equitable and inclusive. they follow the rule of law of the land according to the law. So I can just talk or start from the very low level of experience or very ground, the experience at the ground level. I want to start with the story. When I first came to Germany and I was supposed to submit my papers to German embassy, I was asked so many papers I had to submit, and the problem was that they all had to be attested by some first class or second class officer. This was a hassle, so long so that I could not go to Germany 2 months long because I would run from one place to another, from district magistrate to commissioner, then state commissioner, then foreign commissioner, and whatnot. And this basic implementation by the current government of India, attesting your paper yourself, is a marvelous improvement in the daily life of the citizens. It was a cause of corruption as well, and that changed, of course, the mindset of people as well. So I think when the from the improvements and the programs of the governments, they start from the grassroots level, then we can see further on what is happening. Lot of improvements have been done following the 1991 opening of the Indian markets to the world, and thereafter we have seen the series of corruptions between 2004 and 2014. We all know what corruption means and meant to India and in Indian polity, Indian administration, and whatnot, ranging from the village level to the highest level. Though it is not, it is still there, but we see a huge improvement. And I can say that with the authority because I go to the field almost all over India, from north to south and northeast India. Everywhere you see the improvement. And not only that, the inclusive decision making or that has been, that is taking place now, which was kind of a huge problem for Indian society, not politically, but also economically and, socially, religiously, from all aspects. So the good thing that happened to India with this new government, that first of all, you don't see that many, civil rights there. People are getting aware of their rights. Opening the bank, the khatas or the accounts of the people is a game changer as well. And remember what the former prime minister, the late prime minister of India, Rajiv Gandhi, said once. He said, if I send 100 rupees to people, people get maybe 10 rupees, 90% of the fund is gone. So that is changing very much.
Yeah.
But I also need to admit that there is still corruption at lower level, which has to be also eliminated. But that cannot happen that quickly. This is also true because India is a huge country, and India as a polity and as a nation cannot be compared with any other country of the world because we have so many ethnics there, language there, linguistic variations, different political parties. So I think it is on right track, right way, and I really hope that the change that is taking place will continue and it will reach the grassroots level, not only the district level but also village level. Because at the village level there is a lot of corruption is still going on, but that the prime
Yeah.
minister can do
Yeah.
everything. So I
Just
think it is really good. India is
yeah.
in a very good hands at the moment.
So nice of you just saying the India very good. Just now, 2 minutes before Prime Minister of Bharat, Narendra Modi is addressing the nation about the all vaccination, all the Omicron concern, how the country is going on. As he announced, 15 to 18 years for the doses like start now for vaccination, and also just he announced about just 141 crore person of the country the vaccinated. All doses is given, and the corona warriors have going to be the third booster doses just to control the Omicron and Corona China virus, as you say. As he just warned the country, Corona is not gone, so please take all the proper guidelines, follows whatever you can. Vandana how does you see just actually the PM on live with all means? So Ajay Pathak ji also joined us. He's retired Indian service and work for the so many political posts and non-political also work with the so many ministers and Lok Sabha speaker also. But he has seen the governance very closely, and he has done the so many changed some rules also for the proper way of governance. So after you, I'll take the Ajayji because the Ajayji is here the key person just to connect us for the governance and the new Bharat and public also. So Vandanaji, how just you think the governance, how you just analyze just living in the USA last 30 years and just seeing India from there, have been the part of the government, the part of the governance also, now is a part of the media and the social activists. So how do you analyze the governance of the new India, new Bharat?
Namaskar. And as today is world's largest religion celebrating Christmas, I wish everybody, those who are celebrating everywhere in the world, Merry Christmas. Our Sanatans are celebrating Tulsi Divas. I wish everybody Happy Tulsi Divas. Starting about remembering Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji and Madan Mohan Malviya ji, the contribution of theirs can never be forgotten when we talk about it. I have some quotes of Vajpayee ji, which I just want to remember. This is a real tribute because you can see how simplicity that person had in him. It's a byliner. Empowering the individual means empowering the nation. It is a very small quote, but it is so meaningful, it is so powerful because we have to give power to people. What does governance means? Whom you really want to govern? Eh? Our words, actions, and diplomatic efforts should be aimed at trying to achieve pragmatic goals rather than creating theoretical efforts. This is Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. And I think we are seeing the aftermath of that if we are seeing transparency. The speaker before me, Dr. Bhatt, did talk about, how the power has come in the hands of individuals. That is very, very important. Somebody living in, I think he comes from upper north, Uttarakhand area. You can very well imagine the connectivity then and now. We know connectivity with Northeast then and now. There are efforts. How could you? Because this is one nation, and nation is above everyone, to be honest. मैं रहूं ना रहूं, देश रहना चाहिए. With this, I want to say individuals are seeing the impact of it. Like you can very well imagine just 10 rupeya or 100 rupeya or 1 rupeya ya 100 rupeya. But everything is going directly into the account. When there was that demonetization, we all know that how everybody criticized, but we are seeing the impact of it. And there is a card digital payment method, Pathakji. So people used to laugh at the government because I was about to fly to India, and all of a sudden, without telling anybody, we are seeing कि note तो बंदी हो गया और फलाना हो गया ढमकाना हो गया, but everything fell in place smoothly. I mean, I have not, but लेकिन जो चोर होते हैं, they will always चोर मचाए शोर, to be honest. वो बोलते हैं ना. So that is what has happened. Like हम लोगों ने तो कोई शोर नहीं मचाया, हमारे पास भी बहुत पैसा था. We got it because our money was white money. It was not a, जिसका काला धन था उसको डर लगा, मुझे तो कोई डर नहीं लगा. हम लोगों ने चेंज किया. There was guidelines, there were time given to everybody. So
Right,
when you said giving power to people, like, on a smaller notes itself, like sometimes I get really scared the way things are. We have just seen in the Kashi how and I was, raja log jo hai, they used to go wander at night to check on their people, praja, ki what are they doing. And I saw Yogi ji and Modi ji doing that. And I said, oh my God, is this the ancient times coming back? We should not forget that. And I am very hopeful about this new Bharat and the transparency that they are trying to bring. But I have one appeal to people, like just Dr. Bhatt did mention, that at the lower level, you should be proud of the nation that you live in. You should do your dharma. And what the work you are doing, you are getting paid for it. Nobody is doing a free charity. Let this be, even the farmer says, say, Bhagwan ho gaya. Bhagwan nahi, aap paisa de ke hi kharidte hai. Nobody is giving you for free. So we should respect our real heroes, and we should give support to the government, which is getting excellent support outside Bharat. But there are some people, those who are in the habit of talking and disturbing actually the temples of democracy. So we are very proud of India, what India is doing from then and now, from 2014 onwards. Thank you.
Actually, just I'm smiling. But the reason I'm smiling, what the PM is wear the coat, but just color is same. So you can just watch. So that's what my reason of smiling. So you can understand why I was smiling. So I just live is going on. Our life is also going on. By the way. So now the turn of uh, Mr. Pathak. How Pathak, you have seen the both governance before 2014 and after 2014. So how just you differentiate the governance? One. Number two, how just to analyze the governance of the good governance according to your experiences? As you have helped to the country, to the people, to in relaxing so many undue government laws also in your life.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for inviting me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
as today is
Just
a
please keep your frame. Please put your properly in frame, please.
okay. Is it okay?
Yeah. Is it okay now? Just close one. Yeah. Okay.
So I wish everybody Merry Christmas and as well as Tulsi Divas to all the viewers as well as all the participants in your studio.
Yeah.
Of course, as you told me that I have already served in both the government as well as in the pre 14 era and after the Modi government when we came into 2014.
Yeah.
Of course, the good governance has already started when Rajiv ji came and the computerization started. So a lot of things had changed from there, but still there's a lot of things was to be changed. Rajiv ji introduced the computer era, and from that era, a lot of things you can say improved in every sector, whether it is the infrastructure sector, financial sector, and whatever the sector is known, it was a lot improvement. After that, Manmohan Singh ji came, and also a lot of economical development took place in India, and that all the you can say the economics earlier used to be very difficult for our the foreign companies to come into India, and he made the rolling open economy. It was real, you can say the real game changer for India when the Manmohan Singh ji introduced the open economy policy. And I can say that there was a lot of where somewhere it was lacuna was there in monitoring sort of thing. Just Madam has told that Raju ji has told that if you send the money 100 rupees and 85 rupees is gone, or only 15 rupees is being paid to the real beneficiaries. So there were a lot of things has to be lot changes has to be taken place. So I can say that when 2014 when Modi ji came and really he made a lot of great changes, I can say. I was in the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways and looking after the infrastructure sector. There he made such a platforms. First things he made direct benefit system, DBT system, where the money goes directly into the account. Of course, it was already started in the earlier government also, but he made all the money which is going to the state or going to the for welfare schemes is going directly to the beneficiary's account. But still, what Mr. The other colleague who has told is still at the level, lower level, at panchayat level. Even after that also, the mukhias and other things, they keep their passbooks. They take out the money from the bank, but they have got their commissions. Mukhia are still they are having commissions.
Patakji, I'll take you this time of the break. After taking, I'll take you how just experiences of the old and new, and
Yeah.
whatever Dr. Bhatt says about the when Rajiv Gandhi just declared the giving the 1 rupees and just reaches to the 10 paise, how this is transformed by the Modi government. We'll also
Yes.
talk on that. This time of break now.
Thank you.
Welcome after break. Just Pathak was discussing about the just Rajiv Gandhi started the computer and all. That's good, so fine. Just going to the 21st century, but due to his innovation, but that was not took off as we know the reality. One, and when the Keep Mum government, we can say Moni Baba, Manmohan Singh came. So how I just act like the doll, very good doll, just for the switching the governance, as you know it also. But you like the bureaucrats done whatever done at your front at that level, as you also served when Manohar Joshi was a speaker of Lok Sabha. So how just you trying to change so many rules for the other members and all, that's also a point. But how just Dr. Bhatt says, I'll take answer, then I'll go to Bhatt. Now the time, if 1 rupees transferred by the prime minister and the government, that is 1 rupees going to that directly in the account. That is also truth. This is transformation of the governance. How just you analyze this transformation?
No, I agree with Mr. Bhatt. There is no doubt about it. Although this direct benefit started during the Manmohan Singh government, but it was not working so much truly and so much fully during the after 2014. It started like that, but still there is a corruption at the, although the money is going directly to the beneficiary, but whenever they are taking out, all those passbooks are being kept by the mukhias and other things, and they take the money commission and then they provide it. This is the reality at the level of village. I'm telling you, because I myself has experienced it. So, but nothing that at least now, if 100 rupees going, at least 85 rupees is going to the pocket of the beneficiaries. Maybe about 10 to 15 percent is going to here and there. There is no issue at all. But at large, it is doing really great. But what I'm telling you regarding the how the central government and the other ministries are working earlier, what used to be there, all the ministries are working at their own systems. But when the Prime Minister Modi ji came into the in 2014, it was a great change. He has made the completely governance system. His system was that maximum governance, minimum government. This was the first things he
Yeah,
started.
yeah.
And here in these situations, I'm telling you, earlier in the ministries when there was an infrastructure sector, I'm just telling you, in our case when we used to sanction the road, there used to be the railway crossings. If you want to uh, construct the ROB, rail overbridge, there's not even for getting the permission from the railways ministries. It took generally 2 to 3 years. But during this government, the present government, and our the ministers, Mr. Gadkari ji, and when the railway ministers was Mr. Prabhu ji, we proposed one sort of platform where within 6 months railway has to clear the approval, give the approval for all the railway overbridge, and we really did wonders. In 6 months, we can sanction about 180 railway crossings. And earlier, if you would have been earlier periods, they used to take at least more than 4 to 5 years. So this was one transformation has taken place during this government. I'm telling you this my experience. And also at the level of Prime Minister, there was a Prime Minister PMG group, and he used to. There is a monitoring used to be done at the level of Prime Minister's office, The special, there is a, it is headed by additional secretary level officer, and if there, everybody has to put in that portal, PMG group portal, whatever the any government, any department has got the problem. So suppose my case, if the railway is not giving the clearance, or if defense is not giving the land, of there is a environmental clearance is not being given, other lot of other departments, my road project is being held up. So at that level, prime minister level office, and they used to monitor it, and they call all the concerned officers and solve the problem at the same time. And
So nice. Just you just gave the difference of the governance.
yes,
If I remember, I not if I remember 2006. There was three press conference by the then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. In one press conference, I asked the question 2006. That time, Dr. Harish Kari was the media advisor. Then the Sanjay Baru was there. Next time, so just I asked the question to Mr. Prime Minister, when it will happen if you was giving the rupees one and it will go directly to one to the beneficiaries. And that time I'm telling on the record, he could not answer properly, and he was keeping just try to divert the issue. We are doing, we are seeing, we are trying to implement. There are some problems. We'll solve it very soon. Until 2014, he could not solve it. Whatever
yeah,
problem is there, they know better, and you know better. Now, whatever the reasons, compulsions, I don't know. But my question was there. And now, Dr. Rambat, yeah, how just you analyze now the governance, as you just listen properly, Mr. Pathak, how just you analyze the situation? And he, I totally agreed. The governance from 2014, before and after, that is far, far better than
yeah,
that
far
time.
far better, far better.
How PM is monitoring the all infrastructure product development project, and we have seen with the so many photographs how the PM himself just visited the Central Vista type project, or just a BRO, Board Road Organization, just the border, Ladakh border, just how going the fast way. The infrastructure, and I have seen with on eye in the northern eastern states how the road is just um, uh, going to be made, and just improving the every day. I think 36 kilometers is not a big easy issue. Not the 3 kilometer and 4 kilometer on a day, but now that with the Mr. Gadkari and with the Prime Minister force, that is improving day by day. As Vandanaji also earlier said, how he praised the road of India and Bharat, just to love to go so many roadways. So, Raman, how just you analyze the previous governments, and what is the good governance for the transparency and enability and the effectiveness and accountability? So, how just you analyze, as you say, do you think the just digitalization and governance, how do you analyze the this time and before time?
Thank you, Rakesh ji, and I thank Pathak ji also for giving this insight, because he is the person I think who has been part and parcel of the, of course, the the governing bodies, or I don't know which post you are in, but of course since I lived in Hosur.
He's retired at the DG, Ministry of Road
Yeah,
and
so
Transport.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
he's speaking from his experience, and I
yeah.
totally agree with him when he says that a lot of work was already done also before, and there is a, of course, kind of difference in approaches. Definitely, the earlier governments, of course, they did try, but there was kind of, always something that is, always echoing to our ears. It is, the appeasement policy was, being followed. It is also because, this one family that played a huge role in decision making. By the way, Manmohan Singh ji would have not been there if Narsinga Rao would have not made him, the finance minister. So the credit must also go to Narsinga Rao, who was treated very badly by Congress. This is, of course, black and white everywhere. And then, of course, later on, efforts were made by Rajiv Gandhi to modernize India. This is very much appreciated and must be appreciated and accepted, because Rajiv Gandhi was, a different generation than earlier. And thereafter, of course, a lot of efforts were done. But then the governments, you need to also look at, were all coalition governments. They could not do much. You had Chandrasekhar, you had Vishwanath Pratap Singh, or all these, and then Gujral. I think Gujral was one of the worst prime minister of India in in terms of foreign policies. But
He
what
was
happened?
he was really Ramji. He was really accidental prime minister in real sense,
Well, okay. So
as I
anyway,
know it.
well,
I have seen it.
I am
Yeah.
just talking what I read
By
and
the
what
by,
I,
by the luck, I have seen very closely how he made the prime minister. All the
yes,
affairs.
okay. But
Yeah.
the decision what he made, India is suffering even today from that. The decision he made, especially about the foreign policies and about the Indian, raw and others. This is a big, I mean, issue. Anyway, I don't want to go into that. But what happened, between 2004 and 2014, I think this was, of course, something that India uh, didn't realize before. It was a eye opening. I think after Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government came in, then a lot of things were put open, and people started talking. Before that, this discussion would not happen that openly. One very striking thing, which is a core issue and core element in any democracy, that is the discourse and the discussion taking in public places.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between previous prime ministers and today's prime minister is basically that he just talks to the people directly. And this approach, he uses the public language. He doesn't use English. All other prime minister, they would speak in English, and then imagine how many people understood what the prime minister was saying. What was happening around around the ministries? Everything was done in English. People didn't know. He announced all his policies from Red Fort also in English. Who understood that? Just maybe 5 to 10% of people, but not the masses. And now the change is, of course, that the masses can connect with the prime minister directly. It is the language that he uses. He can connect. He's a wonderful orator, and he can connect to people easily. This is a huge change, and I think that leads to the kind of democratization, or people deciding or taking part in democratic process very much. And this also, what I said earlier, that at the lower level the corruption is there. People are speaking up now. It is also true, because
Yeah.
now people do also
Uh,
have kind of weapon,
as a
and especially
digitalization,
mobile.
just the
Let me
digitalization
say
of
one more
governance.
word, one sentence.
Please.
The technology has brought also a huge change in the society, because you
That's
see,
the point.
anything happens, people take photographs, people record, and they send it directly to the responsible authorities,
Concern.
and
Yeah.
actions are being taken. So they are kind of empowered, and now lot of things are happening. So of course there are a lot of programs that has led to this kind of mindset. But still, that doesn't mean that India doesn't need more reforms. India needs more reforms. India needs to do much more than what is happening now. It really needs, and the accountability is something that also needs to be decided. This is being decided now, and I think this is a game changer. Yeah.
Just thank you, Ramji. Vandana ji, how just Ramji just said what is the game changer? The need of so many changes ground level as we feel it. I totally agree with Pathak ji and Ramji. Just at the ground level, there is no change. Only one single Modi, what can do alone? They need a team according to his thoughts. Whatever bureaucracy is there, the different type of bureaucracy. I'll take the Pathak ji. There is Department of Personal Training who just control the bureaucracy. There's the 360-degree changes in the just selection of the officers. Modi government has new experiment done direct entry, lateral entry of the bureaucrat in the system. So how just you analyze the system of the governance as the earlier you have seen it?
Namaste again. As the Rome was not built overnight, it will definitely take a time. You cannot expect overnight things. But if there is a will, because who is government and what is governance?
अच्छा,
We have to realize it is made by the people, for
Yeah.
the people, right? So people have to be ready to make these changes. There may be a lot of sacrifices they need to do, some compromises they should be willing to do for the betterment of the future. It is what is future? Our coming generations, for a beautiful nation. And that will be our contribution to the global society. When we talk about ranking of corrupt nations, where India stands, Bharat stands, that is alarming. Is it decreasing? Yes. But when you talk to individual people, they say, yeah, काम तो अभी भी होता है, but थोड़ा पैसा बढ़ गया है, because now हमको डर के लेना पड़ता है. So, yeah, means like earlier, there
This
was
is
no,
also a story. You're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this, when I am talking, I am not talking like he said or she said. I speak on the basis of reality, on the individual's experiences which they have
Yeah.
shared with me. On
Yeah.
the contrary to it, I'm just telling you, when we were about to migrate, Rambhaji, as you mentioned about your experience, that getting the notarization of a document, means in India, attestation, they call it. आप पिलर टू पोस्ट, आप अंकल जी आ गए घर पे, अंकल जी अभी तक नहीं आए. We used to stand like school ka paper, because uncle ji means your neighbor who was a gazetted officer or what, and then we are still going. And that auntie ji sometimes used to give, what the hell is that? Bar bar chakkar maar rahe. It was very embarrassing for a child, those kind of experiences. But now the self notarization, which is like, trust thyself. But people have to realize, because that much trust has been put on to you, you should be liable to that. That is another accountability. It is a
Yeah.
two-way street. Kumar Rakesh ji, it is not. आपने तो मुझ पे विश्वास किया, so because I can just do any फर्जी document and submit it. No, that should not be there, because I am as a citizen of a nation. Because if they are asking me to show the papers,
Yeah.
if I am honest, I should not have any problem. When I go to the airport, like, even I had the very good accesses, because you could get through. There are people, those who are known to you. When the CISF took over the security, so people said, we will take you like this. I said, no, let them do their job. Because if they are doing their job, they are spending 10 minutes on an individual for a security check. Their job is my security. Their job is your security. We should take it that way. मैं अपना क्यों सीना दिखाऊं कि ओ वो मुझे क्यों रोक लिया, मैं कौन लगी हूं, भगवान लगे हुए हूं? No, everybody has to, because this is a very small incident I'm talking, like when you cross, because वहां तो हर आदमी को, like, when you are driving, we were driving, so somebody was with me, a friend of mine, so cop stopped us. So cop stopped, and then they said, अब मैं जाके बात करता हूँ. मैं कहा क्या बात करना है तुमको? मैं कहा हमारे यहाँ तो कोई बात नहीं होता इस तरह से, means like, because if you have done something wrong, pay for it, like, so then But lekin if you are paying 500 or 700 rupees in his hand, so it is not the person who has taken the money is corrupt. The person who is giving is much more corrupt. I'm just saying that. To get the birth certificates from India, because in India they never used to be having a name for municipal corporations, because we are filing for immigration, you need to have an original birth certificate and stuff like that. For me, my brother, when I went there, I spoke to the officer concerned at the Delhi municipality, and he said, Madam ji, ab baad mein. I never paid a single rupee extra. Yeah,
Great.
I took 2 trips, but it is a morality on me कि मैं तो नहीं, ना मैं खाऊंगी ना मैं खाने दूंगी.
Great.
काम तो होगा, पर थोड़ा सफर करना पड़ेगा. But if we are
That's
ready
the
for it,
point. That's major point.
yeah, that is. But we look for shortcuts. We look for, and that is, I just said,
We are also responsible for that, Bandana ji.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
people look for shortcuts. They say, अबे दूसरा चक्कर कौन मारेगा? क्यों नहीं? But लेकिन this second round, second trip will become one trip if we all behave like Vandana. मैंने
Yeah.
नहीं देना.
So just last take with the Pathak ji. Just na khaunga na khanu dunga. Whatever slogan is there. How just you reacted, Pathak ji? Na khaunga na khane dunga. Nice, good. Unmute yourself. Just unmute. Voice is not coming.
खाना मतलब रिश्वत. रोटी तो खानी है. रोटी
No,
खाओगे
I
तो
do
आगे
agree.
भी
समझ रहा हूँ. I understand
Yeah.
that कि वो चीज है जो मैडम ने कहा है. लेकिन
जी.
still, madam, I can say that you have just mentioned it regarding the CISF security system. Still, I've got an experience that the persons who are going now I'm the Germany. I came only yesterday, and while I was standing in the queue, I came to know that some custom official came and directly went to the immigration and the crossing all the way, and he went to one of his officer has come, and custom people were there. They took directly to the front, bypassing all the standing people. So this is also, this system is still going on.
Whose fault?
Madam has just what mentioned
Whose
to
fault?
that, but this
No,
system
he is giving example of Germany, Vandana
No,
ji.
no.
I
No,
have
no,
seen
no.
America also. He
No,
is
no,
giving
no.
comparative study. Yeah.
He said in India it has happened. That's what he's saying.
Ah,
Not in Germany
yes.
it has happened.
No, India
Listen,
is
You are
listen.
talking-
India.
T3.
That's why I agree
T3.
with.
No, you are talking,
He's
Bharat ji,
talking
you are
about
talking about the
T3.
Germany or India?
T3.
No, I'm talking about at the Indian airport. I only said I came yesterday
Okay.
to Germany.
Your Indira Gandhi International Airport. Naam
Yeah,
Indira
yeah,
Gandhi
yeah.
hatao, corruption will go away.
So I've also just wanted to tell all of this government has really done a great transformation regarding the governance. Just now,
Yeah.
Modi ji has launched there's one platform where all the ministries come on the same platform, and they can raise their own problems, and it can be solved by the group of the persons or assigned by the Niti Aayog and the Prime Minister. Just which is, earlier it was only for the infrastructure sector, but it is now for the complete all the government of India. There's one platform is already launched by, I think, Modi ji about 2 months back. I think it's the Jan Shakti program. I like that. I don't remember the exact name of that program. It is also going to be transformed a lot. Just like what Mr. Bhatt has told that
Nal se jal, har sabko nal. Yeah.
there was that one program was launched by the Prime Minister about 2 months back. That was really a great transformation where all the problems of every ministry which is having like in infrastructure, social sector, all sector are come at the same platform, and they can solve their problems with the help of the officers like cabinet secretary, like the persons like Niti Aayog, like sort of, and then the things can move in a faster way. All the projects can go very smoothly, and the problems can be decided, sorted out at a one platform. Earlier, it used to take a long time, even months and years, in order to solve the problem. So this is a great transformation this government has done, and the things also which Mr. Bhatt has told that self-attestation. This was a great move by this government, where a lot of problem. What Madam has also told that only vested officer, if there he used to only sign, then only that your certificate used to be entertained by anybody. That was also a great, you can say, work done by this government. And apart from lot of things has been done, like in our toll
Yeah.
system. Now,
So
I can just
actually, Pathak ji also agreed on the point that after 2014, many transformation and changes had been
yes,
done. One,
no doubt,
and
no
the,
doubt, no doubt.
and the past was not the proper in order, and now 1 rupees, 100 rupees directly going 100 rupees in the concerned account. That is a great achievement, and how the Ujjwala Yojana and different the success story of the government already on the ground, and so many scheme is going to be ground. It take times, as Vandana you said, and
No,
Ram said just how the
Rakesh, I just wanted to mention the
please,
scheme is really where it's a very good scheme, but
yeah.
at the lower level, at the village level, even if
Yeah,
Ujjwala
it has
Yojana
to
is
be
also,
tightened. It have to awareness. It needs
yeah,
awareness
even
also,
Ujjwala
and
Yojana
just
at
exclude
lower
like
level,
anything.
every
Yeah.
correction is still going on.
Yeah. So that is the times actually whatever is done in a very good way. So I think the good governance day and how the good governance new Bharat is really going to transforming, and thanks to the Modi government, and especially our Prime Minister Narendra Bhai Modi has been just doing the lot, and I think but they needs the more expert hand to correct the system for the public, for the people, as we think so. So nice of you, just you participated. It was so nice of you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you.